World attention on Nigeria. I hope nothing tampers with elections. Obasanjo warns. Ahead of tomorrow's emergency meeting of the Council of State convened by President Muhammadu Buhari, where major decisions are expected to be taken by to douse tension over scarcity of naira notes. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo is optimistic that nothing will interfere with the successful conduct of the general elections scheduled for February 25th and March 11th. Obasanjo's comment is coming amid fears that elections might be postponed due to ongoing crisis occasioned by the scarcity of fuel and new naira notes. The former president, who urged Nigerians to strive and ensure that the polls hold at all costs, spoke yesterday when he played host to the Board of Trustees (BOT) of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) at his penthouse residence located within the premises of the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library (OOPL), Abeokuta, Ogun State. The ADC national leaders were led by national chairman of the party, Professor Ralph Mosu, BOT chairman, Dr. Mani Ibrahim Ahmed, and a former presidential aspirant of the ADC, Chukwuka Moye, stating that the attention of the global community is now focused on the 2023 polls in Nigeria. Obasanjo charged Nigerians as main stakeholders to contribute towards the success of the elections. We are in an interesting period in Nigeria. In less than 3 weeks, we will be going to the polls. Well, I hope nothing will intervene against that. In less than 3 weeks, we will be electing a leader that will pilot the affairs of the Nigeria for the next 4 years from May. I have been in Togo, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire from the beginning of the week, and they are as concerned about what happens in Nigeria as every Nigerian should be. Before I left Abidjan, President Olasene Ouattara of Cote d'Ivoire was telling me about a position that Cote d'Ivoire is fighting for for, and he told me that we are putting it on hold until after Nigeria's elections. So, even for them, Nigeria's elections are of utmost importance. The ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) has faulted reports that it is pushing for a postponement and elections. APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka described that report, not in the Guardian, as blatantly false and reckless, which bears no iota of credibility. He said, beyond its loud headline, the report offers no substantive justifying consent aside from its intended purpose of misleading and causing needless anxiety and speculations regarding the upcoming elections. It bears it bears reiterating that the underlying report is fake news. Barely 16 years to the presidential election, Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Mahmoud, yesterday visited the presidential villa, Abuja, where he briefed the Federal Executive Council (FEC) meeting and reassured that the polls will hold as scheduled despite scarcity of fuel and cash. Briefing State House correspondents after the FEC meeting, Yakubu said the commission has sorted out the challenges initially posed by the scarcities, explaining that the briefing at the FEC was statutory and a follow-up to the meeting which the Council of State slated for Friday. We took fake meetings, fake members through all the preparations that we have put in place for the election and the few challenges that we are facing and the steps that we have taken to address those challenges. I can tell you two of those challenges quickly. The first one is availability of petroleum products. We had a meeting with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, and they raised that as an issue of concern. Immediately after that meeting, we interfaced with the leadership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited, and right now there is a technical committee working. The idea is for them to avail us and use of their over 900 land mega stations as well as floating mega stations nationwide for the purpose of stocking products to ensure that the commission doesn't suffer any encumbrance in movement of personnel and materials for the election. The second one is the currency issue, and again, we had an engagement on Tuesday with the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and he assured us that the commission will not suffer any encumbrances on that score. On that score, so be rest assured that the election will hold as scheduled. He said, however, the electoral body has said violence remained a major challenge to the successful conduct of the election. INEC National Commissioner May Agbamuche at one day state hearing on the extent of implementation of the Electoral Act 2022 ahead of the conduct of the 2023 general election. Agbamuche said violence could affect the credibility of the elections, especially now that the attacks were targeted at INEC facilities. She said violence makes deployment for elections difficult, particularly where some of the attacks are targeted at INEC facilities. The electoral process and participants. But the Commission has been working with security agencies and other stakeholders to establish mechanisms to understand, track, and migrate security challenges. We are working collaboratively in the context of Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security (ICCES). Towards the election, the Commission has been joined in over 1,000 court cases as at January 6, 2023, involving intra-party elections and nominations and candidates by political parties, having concluded 12 out of the 14 of the activities in the timetable and schedule of activities for the general election. The Commission is fully committed to the successful conduct of free, fair, and credible elections. The National Assembly has said the current Naira redesign policy could affect negatively the conduct of the polls. The Chairman Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Obayemi Bamidele, stated this at the public hearing. Bamidele said, CBN told us at the beginning of the policy that it was targeting the so-called money bags who stashes away billions in their closets. We thought those are the people they want to get at. We have now seen that it is the ordinary man on the street. They are sleeping in the banking hall because they cannot have access to the little money they have. We must understand the political economy of an electoral process. People are thinking of, of the money politicians would spend on vote buying. They don't know that political parties would also mobilize people to all the polling units as agents, just like the INEC would mobilize personnel. That is the news this morning. Please subscribe to this channel so that you'll be getting news to know what is going on in Nigeria. Wherever you are watching from outside Nigeria, log in and also subscribe to this channel. Let's use the comment section to deliberate on this news. Tell us your mind concerning the ongoing right now and the suffering of the people. Thank you.